Today, I'm going to show the three main reasons why brands are unable to scale their ad spend and how we've solved this on our own brand and on a few other client brands. So this first example is actually our own supplement brand that we launched in January this year, and we spent $1.3 million on Facebook ads and generated $2.8 million in gross revenue. Our new customer CAC is about $100, and we have a very decent LTV. So as long as our new customer CAC is at around $100, we are essentially profitable in the long run. And that's how you scale a brand. And then we have another example. These are client stores where we spend $200,000 on ads and generate 1.5 million in sales. Granted, we spent about 100K on Facebook and about 130K on YouTube ads. And another example where we spent 230K and generate $1.8 million in sales. Out of the 230K, we spent 86,000 on Facebook and 150K on Google Ads. And these two last examples were for the last 365 days, as you can see here. And then this example is just this year because we launched this year. Okay, so the first reason why a lot of brands can't scale is already kind of shown here, and that's attribution. So in order to scale your brand profitably, you can't rely on outdated metrics like blended return on ad spend anymore, because when you focus on blended metrics like return on ad spend, a lot of that advertising budget goes directly into your remarketing audiences, and you're essentially spending money on attracting people to whom you would sell regardless through email or SMS. So that's essentially ad budget wasted. We leverage third-party tracking like Wicked Reports and Triple Whale, which gives us exact data on new customer CAC. So new customer CAC is our North Star, our Holy Grail, and we optimize all our media buying efforts so that we hit a profitable new customer CAC. You also have to calculate your SKU-specific lifetime value. So each SKU has its own lifetime value. So, you can, if you only have one product, then that lifetime value is, not hard to calculate. But if you have several products, all of them will have different lifetime values, which also means that all of those products need to have different KPIs. Otherwise, you might be profitable, with one SKU, but you're losing money on the other. Even though it might look like on the basis of new customer CAC that you're profitable, you might not be profitable in reality. So this is reason number one, not knowing your numbers and trusting, your ad account attribution and making decisions when it comes to optimizing, scaling, pausing campaigns and ads, basing your decisions on ad account stats. So in 2024, you can't rely on ad account stats anymore, and you really need to know your LTVs. So that's like the foundation. Now let's move to the other part. Okay, so reason number two why you haven't been able to scale profitably. So we audit several ad accounts every week, and most of them don't follow any rigid, proven testing and scaling framework. Usually it's just throwing, frankly, shit at the wall and then trying to see what's going to stick. And you really need to have a proven system and follow it religiously. We also have to prioritize the variables that we're testing. And we also have to understand what's the arrangement of testing those variables, if that makes sense. So to give you a very quick walkthrough, if you want this flowchart, just send me an email to marco@supergirl.io. So the first step in all creative testing is finding angles, concepts, SKUs, or creators that are hitting your NCCACs. So here, this section right here is kind of the decision making process that we go through when it comes to analyzing hard and soft metrics. So hard metrics being new customer CAC, soft metrics being outbound click-through rate, hook rate, hold rate, and how we essentially make decisions based on this. The goal here is to find one angle, one concept, one SKU, or one creator that's working well. So we would test an angle or a concept or SKU or creator in one ad set or one campaign, depending on how clean you want the ad account to be. And we essentially use 5 to 6 creatives. So, we usually group statics into one ad set, videos in one ad set, carousels in one ad set, because we're buying different types of ad inventory. We really want to surgically separate those from each other. And then if this section right here is hitting CAC, it goes into the other pool of testing. So to give you like a bird's eye view, we test a angle, concept, or SKU. One of those, let's say we test like 5 of them in different ad sets. One of them works. We mature that winner into audience testing. And then in audience testing, we test lookalikes, interests, different broad audiences like male only, female only, age ranges, or remarketing audiences. And we find a audience that works. So if it's hitting our set NCCAC or not, we mature it into our bid testing, and from there we go into scaling campaign. This is the decision-making kind of tree. So if it's below or above target NCCAC, or if we still don't have the conversions, we have to base our decision-making off of soft metrics that we have certain parameters set to help us understand if we're going into the right direction. So yeah, number 2, you need a replicable and proven testing structure that you always follow, and you need to isolate the main variables at each step and then mature only winning combinations into scaling. Because most of the times people just mature ads after a few days. They put it from a testing campaign into a scaling campaign, or even worse, they don't even have that separation. And then when they mature it into a scaling campaign, all of a sudden, it's not performing well and the CPA increases. So this is the biggest reason why we see CPA increase, is because they scale too soon, essentially, and they haven't stress tested that creative on a higher budget inside of testing before maturing into a scaling campaign. Last but not least, the third reason why you've been unable to scale is essentially creating creatives that are going after warm audiences. Of course, a warm audience will have a higher conversion rate because they already know about the product, or they already know about the problem. They already know that a solution for that problem exists, and they're more likely to convert. So you don't have to pay for educating them. The problem with that is that market segment is very finite, and a lot of brands are competing for those. So you don't have scalability with them. So in order to scale, you actually have to go after the unaware market. This one needs education. This one is harder to convert, but a lot less companies are competing for these people, and you can grab them at the point where other companies are still not competing for them, if that makes sense. You also need to put in more effort to convert them. So, right now you're probably sending your ads to a PDP or a product page, homepage, and they either like the product, the price point, the offer, they buy or not. With unaware markets, you can't do that because they're not going to convert. So you have to talk with them differently. So these creatives are direct response videos that are scroll stopping and focus on the problem and explaining how the solution can help improve their life in a very concise, engaging way. And so the creatives are the first part. The second part are the VSLs and advertorials. So we test a lot of VSLs, a lot of advertorials, and these two are the integral part of converting unaware market segments into customers. And at Supergrow, we help you both with the media buying part, so the testing, the scaling, optimization, etc. We help you with scripting the video ads, the VSLs, and advertorials. And we also help you with streamlining the content production. We track everything from the concept, the status, we prioritize by confidence levels, and then we put a score after the hypothesis has been tested. This is probably even more important than the actual scripting part, because if you're just spending ads and generating revenue, in my opinion, you're losing money, because if you're not iterating on the results, you're not making any progress. Let's say, we found one angle that's worked well, then we just come up with another concept, another creator, and then based on these results, we iterate and come up with new tests. With that being said, hope you enjoyed this video.